So today I am going to work on my sanding table. I'm going to make it out of scrap wood, and so I've got a piece of 1/2 inch MDF that I'm going to use as the base. It's going to be 21 inches by 21 inches, and then I'm going to have a 3-inch piece of 3/4 inch ply for the walls, and then the top piece is going to be pegboard. Pegboard comes in 24 by 24, or sorry, 24 by 48, but since I only had a 21 inch piece of MDF, I figured 21 inches works just fine. So first things first, I'm going to cut this one down to 21 inches. I've got a guide set up so that my measurements are going to be accurate, and let's get started. Power helps. By 21, right on the money. Since I already have my guide set up, I'm going to cut the pegboard to the same length, right at the same time. It's got a little bit of a broken piece, so I think I'm going to take this side. Make our second cut. So the next thing I want to do is cut a piece of 3/4 inch ply down to 3 inches, because that's how tall I want my walls to be. I don't trust my little ruler on the outside of my fence here, so I always use my tape measure. And again, this isn't furniture. This is just making a tool for the workshop. So it doesn't have to be exact as long as all my pieces are the same. So I got my fence set at 3 inches. I'm gonna rip this down. I can get 2 out of this, and then I'll grab another piece of scrap to make the inside 2, which are gonna be less than that anyway. So since this is 21 inches, I'm just going to rip it down. Wouldn't do me any good to have a little bit here, so I'm just going to rip this entire thing down to 3 inches. Okay, so now I've got 2 of my walls. Those are going to be the outside walls. The inside walls are going to be, let's see, 21 and then minus that, so 19.5 inches long. I'm going to cut these down to 21, so we'll take these over to the chop saw and do that. So while I was setting up the chop saw, I realized I just finished my crosscut sled. Haven't even used it for anything yet, so this sounds like a great opportunity to test it out. If you haven't seen my video on putting together my crosscut sled, go ahead and take a look. It should be up in that corner. So 21 inches. couple different ways I could do this. One, I can just line it up with my kerf in my fence. I know exactly where I want it to go. Or I can set up and put a stop block right here so that when I put my next one up, it just butts up right up against it. But first thing I'm going to do before I do any of that is I am going to square off the ends so that I know at least one of my ends is going to be square to start with. So let's do that first. Now we measure 21 inches, since I know the left end is the good end. Line that up with my kerf mark and my fence. And do it again. "21 inches on the money." Grab my second board. Let's see, this has 2 knots in it. Can I get 21 inches between them? Just barely. So I'm going to cut those knots off first. At least cut one off. That 21 inches falls right on that, a little bit into that knot, so I'm going to measure the other side. So now I've got my 2 pieces, 21 inches a piece. And now I got to find some wood, and we will do the insides. So to spare you all from the monotony of just seeing me cut wood, I went ahead and cut my inside pieces. And we already saw the outside pieces cut. Now we can see how this is going to work. That's the top one upside down at the moment. And I hope you can't hear that noise in the background. My neighbors are doing their yard. So, sorry about that. If it gets to be too much, I'll put the garage door down and turn some fans on. But okay, I think we're in good shape. So now it's just about fitting it all together. So there's a couple of ways I could have gone about putting these corners together. One idea was to take the bottom and set it on top of all 4 pieces and just screw and glue into the bottom of it, or brad nail it in. But since I have this clamp for doing 90-degree angles, like for picture frames and stuff, I thought I'd give it a try. I haven't actually used it yet, so I'm going to screw and countersink and screw some screws into the ends here. Pretty cool. I haven't used it yet, so I like it. It's good enough. In fact, it looks like 2x4 scrap might be the exact dimension that it needs. So if that's the case, then I take that back. That worked pretty well. I'll get the bottom on. This I am going to glue and screw, or sorry, glue and just brad nail it in. Not a whole lot of need for super strong connection here, and besides, glue tends to be stronger than the wood itself. What's worse than having one finger full of glue? 2 fingers. Beautiful. So when it comes to the top, a couple things I want to take into consideration. One, you got the rough side. 2, you got the smooth side. I think the smooth side, A, it looks a lot nicer. B, you can slide your material around on it, but I don't know if that's necessarily good. Having the rough side up, your material maybe doesn't slide as well, but it also collects a lot more dust. And I don't know if the dust will come out of this as well. It doesn't look very nice. So I can always flip it around if I don't like it. So for that reason, I am going to put the smooth side up. I am going to utilize the holes already in the board so that I'm not putting more in. And I believe I'm only going to put 4 in for now. Maybe one's in the middle of each side too. But I want to be able to take this off so that I can get a vacuum inside there if there's any dust collecting that's not coming out when the shop vac is running. The other thing I will end up doing is putting a hole in one side to affix the shop vac hose to, or my dust collection hose to, but I don't have those parts yet, so I don't really want to put the hole in yet, and it's always easy to put it in later. I don't really need to countersink these since the board is already there. And it's not very thick wood, it's only 1/4 inch, so I don't want to weaken it any. So I'm just going to pre-drill the holes into the 3/4 ply so I don't split it. And I'm not overly concerned about the screw heads sticking up anyway. It's not like I'm going to be sanding into the corners right now. Just want the top so it doesn't move. Yep, I'm going to do one on each side as well. This side, the holes don't line up right, so I'm going to have to make a hole. And there we have it. Our sanding box. All right, and there we go. So next I'll put the hole in the side for my dust collection when those pieces come in, and get this all hooked up and find a place to store it. Thanks for watching. If you'd hit that like button, that'd be awesome. And stick around for more videos as I come up with more projects to do. And feel free to leave comments. I love reading them, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. See ya.